welcome to the Spicy Sports Show with Sam Cerrone. I'm your host, Sam Cerrone. A lot to talk about in the world of sports. Wow. The dog days of summer are pretty much over. Football's right around the corner. Baseball's heating up very well. College football, again, so much more with the story of Johnny Manziel and A-Rod, as if we didn't have enough of them this summer. And, most importantly, soccer is back in Europe, and it is in full swing right now. We'll tell you a little bit about those scores later, but man, it is good to be back. Coming to you live from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Only a couple more weeks left. As many of you know, I actually am moving in 2 weeks, and I'm really excited. This weekend I was up in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, doing my work, and it was great. You know, it's one of those things where life's going to start, really, the rest of my life, and I'm really excited for it, believe it or not. I think many people are nervous, but for me, bring it on. And I went out to to celebrate. And one of the things that I went to a 80s themed night at an establishment. And the most entertaining thing to watch for me is seeing women in their 40s, dressed 80s style, want ponytails side of the head, colorful clothing. It's fantastic to watch, and seeing them dance is even better. I just have to say that. It's phenomenal. It really is. Honestly, I really had a great time, and, thank you to everyone who came out this weekend. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed myself, and I really can't wait to be up there in 2 weeks to really get started with the things that I'll be doing. And one more thing, obviously, before we get into the world of sports, I did some fantasy football. I remember last week I did mention some fantasy football and how we are how television has its own shows where fantasy football is so nitty-gritty and so, I guess I would really say, that every detail matters. And I was in a fantasy football draft last night with a couple of friends from college, and honestly, it's really entertaining. Again, I had the first overall pick, so naturally for me, with the lack of running backs and from the information I learned from television, you go with Adrian Peterson because arguably he's the best running back in running back in sports right now in the NFL. And the next pick was from one of my friends. Name's Tom. He went with the Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, the bad man himself, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say. And honestly, I was a little surprised, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback. I think there's a lot of talent around him. But realistically, when there's a lack of depth at the running back position in fantasy this year, I mean, you can only name a certain amount of elite number of running backs. Quarterbacks, I mean, the point differential is very minimal. When you don't have enough running backs, that's a huge issue. So, realistically, that was probably one of the poorest picks. But then again, I can't really talk because my first year in fantasy, again, I was just learning this stuff. And my first year in fantasy was off the Denver Broncos trip to the AFC Championship game. Jake Plummer, great quarterback. I think he threw for 4,000 yards that year. And then they drafted Jay Cutler. And so my first round pick, I think it was the end of the first round. I think it was a 12-team league. And I ended up drafting Plummer. So that was probably one of my worst picks that I've ever done. Simply because I remember Cutler ended up taking over Plummer's job that year. And hey, things happen. I only had one win that season. That was my worst fantasy season ever. But hey, that's football. All right, like I said, a lot to get in the world of sports today. Like I said, the Dodgers are on a historical hot streak. That ended a little bit today, but they are still looking really good overall right now. More A-Rod drama, as if we did not have enough of this summer. And the Yankees, regardless of how A-Rod's doing, the Yankees are climbing back in the wild card race. We'll talk about that and how they're doing right now with some scores in a minute. Let's see. NFL was preseason week 2. Obviously, there was a lot of significant injuries, especially to players in the AFC East specifically, and we'll see how that will affect teams moving forward. Words from an NFL starter Johnny Manziel. Obviously, there was a lot of heat this week with players talking about Johnny Manziel and his issues and whether or not what the NCAA is going to do about it. And there's another pressing issue that the NCAA is going through right now, which is a bigger issue. Well, I wouldn't say it's as big as Johnny Manziel because Johnny Manziel is the biggest star in the NCAA right now that the NCAA has. And like I said, soccer, obviously, soccer in Europe is popular in the United States. I mean, regardless, the MLS is growing, don't get me wrong. But when you watch European soccer, you're watching some of the best players in the world hone their craft and really put on a show. And boy, this weekend was full of great games. We'll tell you about that. But first, we'll start off in the States, start off with America's pastime, baseball. Let's get right to it with the scores. Right now, the Yankees are on top of the Red Sox 3-2, bottom third on ESPN. CC Sabathia is taking on Shane Victorino right now. Again, pitching, batting. Huge game for the Yankees. Obviously, right now, they're 63 and 59. 6.5 back of the wild card spot, the second wild card spot, which is what they need to get in. And, I mean, so far this week, Alfonso Soriano, man, this guy, again, he is, I don't know what he is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's juicing, but man, he seems like it to a degree with the amount of production that he's been getting. Oh, man, 18 RBIs in 4 games, which ties a major league record. Honestly, the Yankees really need some batting, and they got Mark Reynolds from the Indians, the former Oriole as well. And in his first at bat, I think he goes yard. And again, they need right-handed bats. I mean, they have a good amount of lefties, but they need right-handed bats in that alternate lineup to go right, left, typical Yankees lineup. And again, like I said, right now they're up 3-2, bottom 3 on ESPN. Sabathia now taking on Dustin Pedroia, but we'll see about that later. Other scores around the league going final in the AL, the Royals defeat the Tigers. I'm sorry, the Tigers defeat the Royals 6-3. Scherzer, first to 18 wins on the year. 18-1. Max Scherzer, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has great support from the Tigers. I mean, look at their lineup. They're really, really good. But Scherzer's been getting it done on his own. I mean, look at it. If you look at his numbers, he has been phenomenal this season. 18-1, 2.282 ERA, 185 strikeouts. This guy knows how to throw the ball past guys, which is going to be very important coming down the stretch and moving into the postseason, because that's what you really need. I mean, obviously pitchers can do well to a certain degree, but if you have a guy that can just chuck it past players, I mean, with some really good heaters, that's going to be important. And don't forget about Justin Verlander. He has been not as great as he used to be this season. I mean, this season's, I guess, a down year for most pitchers. But when come postseason time, Justin Verlander is a dangerous guy. So watch out for the Tigers. I mean, they're one of the teams to look out for in the American League. Looking down more scores in the American League, the Orioles defeat the Rockies 7-2. The Rays defeat the Blue Jays in 10, 2-1. The Twins defeat the White Sox defeat the Twins 5-2. Mariners defeat the Rangers 4-3. Huge blow for the Rangers. Seager delivers in the ninth as the M's. The Mariners, I can't believe they have a better record than the Angels. It's still unbelievable to me. Speaking of which, the Astros defeat the Angels 7-5. And the Athletics defeat the Indians 7-3. Moving on to the National League. The Marlins defeat the Giants 6-5 again. It's been a very disappointing season for the Giants as is. I mean, there's no way they're going to defend their championship, but hey, you can't win them all every year. The Dodgers actually lose this game to the Phillies 3-2. Phillies snap the Dodgers 10-game winning streak. But hey, the Dodgers have been arguably the hottest team in baseball, winning 41 out of their last 50 games. Yeah. Folks, that is something we have not seen in a really long time. And again, this is one team that I can almost pencil in the championship series in the National League, really. with the 1-2 combination of Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke. They have been phenomenal. And the rookie Ryu, he's a good number three. And don't forget about Ricky Nolasco. He can fill in that number four spot. I mean, that 1 through 5, they have arguably the best rotation in baseball. And their stars are getting healthy too. I mean, Andre Ethier hit his ninth home run of the year. I mean, these guys are just on fire right now. And honestly, if you better bring some pitching. I mean, Nationals would be a team that had they had a better record would be a great matchup because again, pitching wise, they could keep up with the Dodgers, but the problem is they're hitting and the Braves beat them 2-1 today. I mean, they're pretty much going to be out of it. I mean, Nationals under 500 for the year, arguably the most disappointing team along with the Angels this year. Nationals were the favorite to win the World Series this year, but it's again, pitching hasn't been too bad. I mean, it's a 2-1 final, so the Nationals pitching is pretty decent for the most part. I mean, Strasburg's been having a down year. Gonzalez pretty good, but honestly, it's just been the hitting. I mean, they had 8 hits today, but they cannot put the runs on the board, and that's what matters. The Diamondbacks defeat the Pirates 4-2 in 16 innings. Man, extra inning baseball has been more exciting, obviously, with teams fighting for those wild card spots because a lot of these division titles are looking to be close and wrapped up. But the Reds are right behind the Pirates right now. Took advantage of the Pirates' loss today as they defeat the Brewers 9-1. The Cardinals defeat the Cubs. Wainwright back on the winning side, going pretty deep in this game. 14 wins on the year for Adam Wainwright. Again, he's going to be that main guy, going to be huge for the Cardinals come postseason. And the Padres defeat the Mets 4-3. Now, looking at the standings right now, as they are right now, pending the Yankees Red Sox game, Boston right now has a 1.5 game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. And Baltimore's on 5 back of the Red Sox. And like I said, the Yankees 8.5 back. I don't think they're going to win the American League East. But like I said, they are 6.5 back in the wild card standings. So they really got to do some damage here tonight and moving forward in order if they have any chance of making the postseason. Now into the Central, you have the Detroit Tigers again. Have been pretty good so far this season. Cleveland has been kind of slipping as of late. Not playing 500 under 500 ball in their last 10 games. Again, Detroit 7-game lead over the Cleveland Indians right now. And in the West, Texas and Oakland are just going back and forth. Texas only has a half-game lead over Oakland right now in the American League West, and it's just really, really close. These two teams are playing really good baseball now in the late August, and we'll see how they look in September. Moving on to the National League, Atlanta has a 15.5 game lead over the Washington Nationals. Yeah, they have their division pretty much wrapped up, but do they have the best record in the National League wrapped up? I don't know. I mean, look at the Dodgers right now. Although they lost today, they've been on fire. Like I said, 41 out of their last 50 games, the Dodgers have come out on top. And like I said, their pitching is dangerous. Atlanta, they have some pretty good pitchers, but you have to get guys that can throw the ball past players. Throw the ball past batters. That's what you really need come postseason time. You need guys that can throw strikeout pitches. And Greinke and Kershaw, arguably two of the best, arguably the best 1-2 punch right now in the game. Yeah, the Dodgers are the favorite in the National League. But again, Atlanta, better record right now, but who knows? We still have a month left of baseball, month and a half left of baseball left this season. And like I said, in the Central, Pittsburgh has just not been playing well. Only 3 out of the last 10 games have come out on top. And St. Louis has only been playing 500 ball. But Pittsburgh has only a 1-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals. And don't forget about Cincinnati, who is 2.5 games back. It really is phenomenal, the baseball season. I mean, if it wasn't for the steroids this season, the PEDs, biogenesis,